Mis pancinco a ustedes pa one. Primeramente, mis saludos y respetos going out to everyone. Check it out. Today I have a good one, bro. Today I have a good one, and I dubbed it, "How did she get away with murder?" Something along the lines. I haven't even captioned it yet. You know what I mean? But check it out. First off, primeramente, let me kick it off like this, right? Back when I was younger, teenager, you know what I mean? About to hit 18. There was a sheriff by the name of Duffner. Her name was Duffner, right? And it is my belief that she became a gang task force. Don't quote me, but she was a detective for sure. And usually detectives in the hood, they're not there for anything else but for the gang task force violent crimes unit, you know what I mean? So this hyena, bro, like, I'm not even trying to be negative, but she was so crooked. She did all kinds of stuff. She did all kinds of stuff that was not legal. Like, you know, like one time she ran into one of my homeboys and she tried to hit him with the car. Like, there's not even no crime. Just because she seen one of the homie, you know, got spooked and ran, you know, and actually he never got caught for whatever she was going to try to get him for. You know, it was nothing. She was just being reckless, bro. She was just negligent, bro. But anyways, look, so I first met her. We're walking around like it was around midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I was all tweaked out, you know, like, if you want to consider that a crime, then so be it. But I'm not over there doing anything wrong, you know, and the homies they might have something or whatnot that they didn't supposed to have, so they ran, and I was on probation, so I stayed there, you know, so the homies could get away, and so she gets there, and she didn't chase them because I stayed, and she starts like, oh my God, like, she did this big old process. She wanted to know what car I was driving, and she didn't want to give me back my keys. But you know how it is. They threaten you, they do this, they do that, and at the end of the day, they're going to have to give you back your keys. You're not on probation. They don't even supposed to search you. But they're always going to break the law. They're always going to go against their own rules. And they're always going to be like, oh, well, he's a suspect because I got a call and there was actually really no call. You know what I mean? So check this one out. Throughout that little era, throughout that little year or two, maybe 3 tops, I don't think I knew him for more than 3 years, I disappeared, you know. I went to prison after that, so I didn't get to see how she evolved into even being like one of the most hated huras, you know. Not the most hated, but one of the most hated, as far as like nobody liked her because she was just so crooked and so prejudiced, you know, like based on race, based on all that, you know, like just she does not like Mexican people. So regardless of what it is, you know, I don't know if her nationality, I don't know if she's white, Italian, Mexican, I don't know. So I'm not going to sit here and sound naive by telling you something that it's not. I don't know what she is. I think she's white, but she could be Italian and she could be Mexican. I don't know. But even if she's Mexican, she does not like Mexicans, bro. And that's just point blank. Well, at least not Mexicans in the hood, you know. She might like some Mexicans that are rich. I'm not gonna lie about that. But look, the reason why I say she was gang task force, she used to be regular patrol, right? But then my homeboy got arrested, supposedly, allegedly. He pled guilty, but I'm still gonna say allegedly, just for the sake of haters, you know. Allegedly, he was in a G-Ride, and allegedly he got caught with a revolver, you know. That's a whole nother story for another episode. And from what the homie told me, right, he said that he was, you know, he got up in the morning, he was gonna go do I don't know what, and he noticed a car, like a plane, like a civilian car, following him. So he's getting followed, and finally he was like, oh hell no, like this is not normal, you know. So he went into the apartments in the hood and tried to run, and the hyena came, and she tackled him. She's pretty big, you know, and she knows martial arts. She's trained in martial arts. She's also a sheriff. She got special training in that. Not to mention she's not a small hyena, you know. So anyways, my homie gets arrested. He does, as a matter of fact, that's the first time he goes to the pen, you know. He went to prison for that. And I don't hear about this hyena no more. And there's a gang of stuff that I could say about it right now, but I'm gonna try to make this short because it's a very, very, very long story. Okay, so check it out. She gets, I don't know if she got arrested for murder, but she, as a cop, killed her husband. She killed her husband. And the district attorney did not charge her with a murder count, nothing. They said it was self-defense. And she walked, homie. She did not go through what you or anybody else that is a civilian would go through. She did not go through the due process. None of that. How does that work? I don't know, my boy. Is it funny to me? Hell yeah. Like, how are you gonna just let her walk away, bro, when you're over there busting people for having weed, for having methamphetamine? Like, that's not really killing people, even though, you know, on the long run, it could have a negative effect, you know, but right then and there, it's not lethal, you know, it's not violent, it's none of that, you know what I mean? Not to mention, say no to drugs. I'm not here encouraging anybody to get high or anything like that. I'm just giving you a little example that how are you gonna, that's like the biggest oxymoron, contradiction, you know, like you're over here doing one thing, but you're over here turning on the blinders, like you're putting on the blinders and you're not being real, you know, like anyways, I'm gonna put a link in the description so you guys can go watch what she said and you guys can analyze it on your own, because there's always two sides of the story. Unfortunately, the other side of the story, that person is dead. He is dead. He got killed by a hura that was his wife, Jaina, whatever. They were living together. He gets killed. She walks. So I watched her little interview, right? And she's over here crying. And if I tell you something that's gonna come straight up from the heart, I'm gonna sit here and just let you know straight up how I feel. It's gonna come from the corazon, and it's gonna come straight up from my mind. Freestyle. Because that's what I feel. That's real. She had a very good lawyer. Don't quote me on it, but I think it was Ron Bamier. I kind of recognized him, but it could have been another one. So I'm already knowing he used to be a DA, and he's extremely good. So he's probably over there coaching her. She had a written statement, and she pretty much read the whole thing, and nothing came out from her corazon. She's over there crying, and basically she's talking about, this is how she says it went down, right? And no disrespect to the victims of domestic violence, I'm all for you. If you're a victim of domestic violence, please leave that person. Leave him. Seek help. Look for help. Reach out to someone. Say something. Don't just stay quiet. Domestic violence is a very serious issue, and if you're going through it, the best thing I could tell you is just get away from that relationship. There's plenty of fish out there. There's plenty of people that will take you serious and cherish you for what you are. You know, instead of staying in a toxic relationship. Say no to toxic relationships. You know what I mean? So we're not even gonna get into that. But this Jaina, you gotta keep in mind, she's a cop. So she has special training, bro. She knows how to think. She knows how to respond. She knows how to do all of that. Right? So she's over here playing the part like if she's a domestic violence victim. Excuse me. However, how can you explain the fact that you're a sheriff? First and foremost, you're arresting people. You're over there on the streets tackling people. You have a martial arts training. And you're over here claiming to be a victim. You're a sheriff. You got special training. Why don't you just leave the relationship? Why stay there? If you're a trained professional, don't get me wrong. If you're a civilian and you're going through stuff, you know what? I'm sorry, because this is not intended to you. This is not intended for you in any type of way, shape, or form, due to the fact that you're a civilian. You don't got special training. But when this lady over here is over here playing the victim, having special training, like, come on, you're arresting people for all kinds, for a wide variety of crimes, and you can't identify a crime taking place in your own household? You're gonna put on the blinders? You're not gonna report it? I'm not saying to report, but why didn't you report it if you're a cop? You're a sheriff. You got friends that are sheriffs. You got friends in the force, co-workers. And you couldn't go over there. You couldn't go over there, huh? You decided you were gonna take a life instead of just walking away. Why? I'm not gonna sit here and say I know why, but come on, she just didn't want the husband, the boyfriend, whatever the case might be. She didn't want him to be with someone else. There's no other explanation, bro. She didn't want him to be with anybody else, so she decided to take a life and got away with it. She got away with murder, bro. So in the interview, she's talking about she's getting beat up and she don't want to say nothing because she's a victim, blah, 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 blah. But the whole time, she didn't report it. The whole time, she didn't seek for help, professional help, get some counseling. You got training, in the very least, get some counseling, girl. Man, I'll be mad. I'll be mad if she kills someone else out here, bro. I'll be mad because they didn't try her the right way. I'm gonna be pissed off, homie. I'm gonna be like, damn. They're letting this hyena just kill people and they're just letting her get away with it, you know what I mean? So she goes on to describe that she got into it with him and that he was beating her up and that she felt trapped, that she couldn't leave. But then she gets the opportunity to leave and she doesn't leave. When he goes to see his probation officer, he was on probation for domestic violence. So he goes to his probation office and this hyena still doesn't leave. He comes back, and at some point, when he comes back, she killed him. I don't know how she killed him, but she murdered that guy. Killed him. She said it was in self-defense. She said he was gonna beat her up. Plugged him. Gone. He's a goner. You're done. Ya estuvo. So, the district attorney's office reviews the case. Of course, it's only obvious there's only one side of the story. All the evidence is what she's over here saying. She's a cop, bro. She's a cop. She deserves to get a movie. She deserves to get a movie. Because in all reality, she could have planted evidence. She could have planted this for months and finally did it. She's a cop. You know, but in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I don't want to say she's guilty. I don't want to say she's not guilty. But in my humble opinion, I honestly think that they should have took her to a jury and let the jury decide. Let the jury decide if she's guilty or not. That's the law. That's the law right there. That's due process. Like, why did she get treated different? You know, like, how many people you see catch a case like that and just no charges filed? Not that many, right? Nevertheless, look, I don't want to be a bad influencer. So, her name is Claudia Valenciano. Google her. Furthermore, on the description, I'm going to drop the link to her interviews, and from there you could just Google her, and I want you to draw your own conclusion. I want you to come up with your own. Don't let me influence you. That's just what I think, but you know what? I should have been in the middle. Unfortunately, it's rather sad that she took a life, and that's just... I'm saddened by that, because she could have, with her training, she could have just looked for help, got help, and got her husband some help. If he was beating her up, you know? Because who knows? What if he was beating her up? If he was beating her up, he could have got some help too, you know? But she decided to just kill him, and that's not cool, bro. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys with this one. You let me know what you think. Don't forget, if you watch the whole 18-minute video, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Go ahead and like and share my video. Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate you, and I'll come back soon.